Okay, so now when I'm doing things like this, like from the concept, especially for my courses, I always at some point, at this point for example, when I'm kind of ready with most things, I feel insecure. I feel like this is not good enough and probably I'm on the wrong path. But I have a guy, and it's this guy who made those things, Bob. So Bob, I show him a screenshot of this and tell him that I'm not exactly sure, and he says that it's going pretty well. And you see, insecurities are something normal, and it's good to have somebody better than you to kind of give you outside opinion. So it's better, it's good for you to go to some kind of forums or discords or some kind of groups where there are people, they can give you opinion. Of course you have to be careful. If a guy gave you opinion in a group, in Facebook for example, you have to be careful. You have to check out the works of this guy, and if obviously he's better than you, much better, so his opinion matters. If he's not as good, then he's just trying to be smart, and that's of course you would not trust him. So at least that's my opinion. So let's continue with our guy. Let's see now. From the side view, I see the helm, this front part here of the helm, or the upper part of the helm, which is going up or down in the real helms. It's a little bit strange. I mean, here it's finishing like this, and here it's not. But why is that? I don't understand quite what's happening here. It's not exactly what it should be. Although I don't mind that much. It's okay. I mean, it's fine. But what we can do is, let me think. Yes, okay. Let's since it looks like it's a little bit elongated. This is a little bit longer, it looks. I don't know why it looks like this. Maybe this part has to be bigger and a little bit more backwards tilted. Could it be like this? I don't know. Maybe I will lift it also a bit. But anyway, we will continue to do this part. I was thinking about something a little bit more complicated to do, but I will not do it since I don't want to give you much more things to think about. Because there are enough. There are enough things that you should think about here. So we should think about this edge in here, and this bottom edge will make it the same way we did this one, but the top edge will be a little bit like this here, or this. So let's do this. With the move brush, I will move each pixel, not pixel, each vertex up, just to make sure they are kind of the same distance from the edge, like we want them to be. And yeah, now they are kind of the same distance. So I will now make them, no, before I made them another polygroup, I will go ahead and extrude all polygons inward. Extrude them, and make sure extrude them a lot like this, at least. Again, remind you, friendly reminder, don't make them too thin. Then I will polygroup, polyloop. Let's try, but if I polygroup, no. I will, now look what I'll do. I will Control-Shift click on this to isolate only this polygroup, and then I will click to make the polyloop, and then you will see the bottom is also made another group. So we can fix that by Control-Z, and then we can delete this back part. But if we delete it now, we will delete the thickness. It doesn't matter, we don't need it, they're hidden. And now we will make again the thickness. I'm sorry that we have to do it, but thickness, flip again, yeah, and then Control Shift click to show only this polygroup, and then we will polygroup, polyloop, and just click to polygroup it. And again, reminder, if you move your mouse on this side of this polygon, it will make the polygroup here. If your mouse is down from the middle of the polygon, it will make the polygroup. So make sure how you do it. I think you know very well now how to do it. So you should do it like this. Now, show everything, and now we should make this a little bit extruded, but not too much. I mean, here it's not extruded at all, but it's different color. So I'm thinking whether we should extrude it or just make it as it is with this bottom part. I'm not sure. Let's just press D to dynamically subdivide it. It's very soft. So when we press D, this dynamic option is turned on, but it's very soft. So these dynamic options, if you don't know, is here in the geometry menu. It's dynamic subdiv, dynamic. And if we don't need it to be that soft. We need to crease it, which is in the crease menu. We'll crease it at 1. Let's try crease. Okay, so it will crease. The crease option is creasing those angles that are bigger than 45 degrees, basically, in this case. If we need to crease this, we'll go to crease, edge, and just click it, and it will crease. It will not look very nice, but we'll increase the size like 4, the smooth subdivisions, and it's looking kind of nice. I like it. So I can accept this, apply the crease. Then I will go with my high polish brush, and just here and there I will make it a little bit more sharper, a little bit more like metal, but I make sure that those edges have specular. They have to have specular. We don't need edges like this, super sharp edges. No, they don't have specular. They look awful. So be careful. Everything should have specular. Of course, here we can do a little bit of hammer work again, just so this will look not so artificial, because if it's very, very, smooth, it will look artificial, and we don't want that. Artificial look is, we basically want to avoid it. Although with animation or cartoon things, we may want at some point to have this artificial, very clean look. But in this case, our dragon, you see, it has some texture. The guy have put some texture and stuff. So we don't need that artificial look. So now we have 100,000 polygons. I will go to my dumb standard brush, lazy mouse up to 58 here. You see where my mouse is? Here, lazy mouse, if you are with my interface. Of course, if you're not, I think it was in stroke, lazy mouse, and lazy radius. Lazy step, we don't care about it. Lazy radius and lazy mouse, those buttons, that's why they're here, because we care about them. We care, yeah. Obamacare, no. Okay, now we go from here like this and like this, and hopefully this is not bad. I mean, it's fine, it's even fine. We go to the bottom one like this, and let's see. All right, it's looking good. Okay, let's do this. So now we need to have this kind of area in here around the horns, which would be a bit the border area around the horns. We'll make it. So I'm moving with my move brush now, just going around, moving it so it doesn't enter the horns. It doesn't kind of interfere with the horns. Of course, we can adjust the horns either at some point, but for now, we need just this. And let me see now. This is looking a little bit thin. this border will look thin. So what can we do about this? So this border will not look that thin. We can do something, by the way. I didn't want to do it, but yeah, we may have to do it. Okay, we may do a couple of things. First, we can go here. It's a little bit of a long shot. We can try this, and if it doesn't happen, it just come into my mind. It's a little bit complicated, but okay, bear in mind. Bear with me. Now, Z modeler brush, go to an edge, press space, and then let's go to close, convex hole. So I think in the beginning it's concave hole. We need convex hole, close convex hole, and that's it. And then just click. And when we click, we have this. Now we go ahead and out group visible to make it one polygroup. And now we can click around this area here to insert one poly loop in here. And then we can delete with Alt this, and then we can delete all of this, and then we can delete this, and then they'll hidden. So now what have I done? I have put more polygons inside in order to put a poly loop more in order to make this wider. This border here to make it wider. Yeah, I know, it's a little bit ridiculous, but sometimes I do these things. This is just stretching my muscles in the program, maybe we can say so. So you don't need to do this. You can manually kind of increase the thickness of this border, and mostly you shouldn't have very thin parts in here in the model at all, because it's a stylized, highly stylized model, cartoon model, and you should watch for very thin parts. Many people, which I told you I have experience with people that are making my absolute beginner course with a knight with big horns, small legs. He's pretty cartoony, and I've seen people make very thin kind of thicknesses of the shoulder blades, of shoulder armor and stuff, and it's not looking good because it's a cartoon character. It should be kind of thick. So, alright, let's do it. I will do this with my standard brush and then with the high polish brush like this. And now I will go ahead, Z modeler, and extrude all polygons, extrude them down, flip it, we have it, good. And now I will make those loops, polygroup, polyloop, make a loop here around where we want to extrude again. So I will extrude, polygroup all, extrude, like this, it's fine. And now, yeah, let's see, press D to dynamically subdivide, then go to crease at 1, crease, and then we have to uncrease or decrease. But first, let's go to 4 as subdivisions, and then we have to decrease here. So we go to crease, edge loop complete, Alt will decrease it. And voila, we have this border of the horns. It doesn't look super bad. I mean, maybe we can make it a little bit bigger. How? Let's try inflating it. Yeah, with the inflate brush, just make sure the middle of the inflate brush is around there, and just slightly pull, just do this with the inflate brush, just very slightly with your tablet, and it should work, at least in theory. In practice, who knows? But it's working. So I will just dial this down. So I want from the side view this to have a concave shape like here. At least that's my idea. Now I will go to metal and then mRGB, fill this object, alt click on the other one to fill it too, and then go to basic material again. And now you see our helmet is looking kind of nice. Of course, our horns are looking awful. They don't look at all good at all. So we have to fix them. How to fix the horns? We probably need to fix those curvy lines that we have we have a lot of curves which are not good. They are absolutely bad. So we have to fix them. Let me decrease the laser radius. I may need a little bit of laser radius, but not too much. So now what am I doing? When you want to make this kind of shapes which are cartoony or something, you need to be able to smooth only certain areas and other areas just next to them to leave them without smooth. So I'm going to smooth just, and my brush is going, but not going here because I will smooth this. I'm going just very close to it, but not exactly on it. Now, let's do something interesting. So we go to Dynamesh. Let's try polish to turn on this again, and resolution a little bit more up. And now this is looking a bit better. I Dynameshed. And now I will try to fix it. How? Just with my damn standard brush. I will go and work on it a little bit like this. How many time we have? Okay, 4 minutes. For 4 minutes we can do a little bit of work on the horns. They are one of the parts which are important, visible, and they don't look good. So we'll try to work on them a little bit more. Of course, as I told you, and I always tell you, I have a lot of experience and I try my courses to not be super long, so I'm working pretty fast. This is not speed up, this is not, you can see it's not speed up, of course. But I'm working fast, I'm not slowing down, and for you, many processes that I'm doing here for 20 minutes or even less can take hours even in some cases. If you are careful, if you are doing the things right, they can take hours, but at the end the result will be worth it, because next time when you do this kind of thing, it will take less time and then less time and then less time. First times when I worked in ZBrush, I wasn't that fast, of course, because I didn't know the program at all, and it took me months and maybe years to start working fast. Of course, in the beginning I was working very stupidly with the default interface of ZBrush, and this was slowing me down significantly. So now when I have my interface and I'm giving this interface to you, because I think that this is something that, you know, you can always bring with yourself, like in a flash drive or in your phone or in a cloud, this interface, and wherever you go, wherever you sit on a computer with ZBrush, you can always just load this interface or your custom interface and start working. So it shouldn't be something problematic, even it could be nice for you. Now here I'm working with the down standard brush, I'm working with the smooth brush, I'm working with the high polish brush. Basically, not too many brushes, just a few. Smoothing here, maybe down standard a little bit in here too to make it sharper, then smooth, and then high polish, just to make sure everything is kinda straight. And here I see this is curvy, I will move it with my move brush. Move brush is, by the way, maybe some people will say the standard brush is one of the most used brushes in ZBrush. For me, maybe move brush is the most used brush. I don't know, I like to move things. And yeah, this song is for me. I like to move it. I like to move it. I know. Yeah, they advised me not to sing. When I was working for other people, one of the things that they taught me a lot when I did courses for Nextut or for yeah, the first courses I did was for, I forgot the name. Maybe I'm old now. Yeah, because a few days ago, as you know, probably if you have watched carefully my videos, I told you, because I was recording in the day, I turned 40, exactly 40 years old. I always say this year that I'm 40, but I'm now completely 40. So probably this is the old age. But Victory 3D was the name of the company that I work for, and the girl, which is the owner of Victory 3D, she told me that I shouldn't sing in my videos. But why? I'm not... my voice is not exactly super nice for singing or something, but at least I'm singing correctly-ish. Correctish. Yeah, of course. This is not the purpose of this. But I'm trying to make my courses a little bit like a show, a little bit like a YouTube video, for example. More exciting, not so boring. I like to talk all the time. I like to not shut up even for a second or minute. Yeah, sometimes I shut up probably for 10 seconds, maybe the most. You probably noticed that already. But this is what I try to do. And the thing is that I like to talk a lot. So this helps, of course. This helps me. I'm a big talker. And many people don't like me for that, probably. Since I talk a lot. And when you talk a lot, inevitably you say something stupid at some point. However smart you are. And I'm kind of smart. I'm not the dumbest guy around, of course. But inevitably something stupid came up. Because of so much talking, you cannot only speak about something intelligent like atoms or the... I don't know. The space time continuum or whatever. It's difficult to speak only smart stuff. And I'm not saying that I'm speaking a lot of smart stuff too. Okay, we are kind of over the time in this video, but let me take a little bit of your time, a little bit more, and just finish those horns. Hopefully, we will be able to finish them as much as to be able to call them done for now. Hopefully. And if we do, then we can jump a little bit to the wings, because they're pretty much not done. They are just put in there without anything done on them. So we may want to just fix this. Fix this very unjust behavior, if we may say. Alright, the horns now, my opinion is that they started to look a bit better. We can, let me think, we can do some little stuff like this here and there, just to make sure this looks like horn. But yeah, maybe later. I like to do some stuff on something and then leave it for later to kind of stay and become more, I don't know, to grow on me. And if it's not good, of course, later we will fix it. If it's good, we'll continue doing it. Things like that. So that's my way of thinking. I'm trying this to be more straightish. From the front view, it's not the best, but it's fine. We can make them, by the way, bigger, those horns. Oh, no, probably not. Okay, in the next video, let's continue with the wings. We can make them, kind of color them a little bit, put more polygons, and just overall do a little bit of work on them. See you, of course, in the next video. Hopefully you are having fun in this whole course. If so, you can subscribe. No, you can leave a good review, for example. Why not? Yeah. Whatever you bought this course from, or Even in the torrent, why not? If you have it from the torrent, why not give a good review in the torrent? It's fine. Okay, bye.